Hey, what's going on, guys? So as per the extremely reliable David Ornstein, Arsenal are closing in on the signing of attacking midfielder Fabio Vieira from Porto in a deal expected to be in the region of 40 million euros, with 35 million up front and a possible 5 million in add-ons. Vieira will fly into London tonight and sign a 5-year contract. This kid has had an absolutely incredible season. Ended up making 39 appearances across all competitions with 7 goals and 16 assists as Porto walked the Portuguese league, winning 29 of their 34 matches and losing only 1. Him and his teammates Otavio and Vitinha, who some of you might remember from his loan spell at Wolves, have really stood out from the rest of the side in midfield and are expected to make moves of their own this summer. As far as Vieira is concerned, he's capable of playing both centrally or out wide in a David Silva-esque position. He's got a wand of a left foot, is a brilliant set-piece taker, and can pick out an eye-of-the-needle pass in behind defenses. Unlike a lot of number 10s within the game, he's got excellent acceleration in his locker and uses that alongside his skill and technique to elude opposition players in the middle of the park. Quite clearly enjoys running at defenders too, as shown by the graphic on screen, and is very successful at it. His finishing is ever improving and he loves having a shot at goal. I've often thought to myself numerous times over the last 2 decades why Arsenal are so hell-bent on walking the ball into the net, so it'll be nice to have a player who isn't afraid to pull the trigger from all angles. At 5'7", his frame could potentially be an issue to begin with, but we've seen players of his ilk in the past have no problems and I'm sure he'll grow into it as he gets older. I fully expect Arsenal as a football club to put him onto a training program immediately after signing. Another potential downside to his game is his defensive work rate. We've seen Gareth Southgate pull Jack Grealish up on it during a press conference earlier this week, and it'll be an area he'll have to improve upon given the fast-paced nature of the Prem and just how competitive it is. In the Portuguese league, the big 4 if you include Braga as well, have it easy in a lot of games. You won't get that in England. There are no free 3 points available for any side. Although he's only really burst onto the scene in senior men's football this season, he was named in the UEFA Under-19 Championship team of the tournament in 2019 and has been selected in the UEFA Under-21's equivalent in back-to-back seasons for 2020 and 2021. Furthermore, he was voted as the player of the tournament in the Under-21 European Championship. So as you can quite clearly see, he is taking the mick at youth level. For Porto, he's predominantly been used on the right-hand side of their 4-4-2 formation as shown by the heat map on screen. Something which I don't expect to see Arteta using anytime soon. However, he's probably even better suited to a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 and at the age of 22 is a risk well worth taking. Unlike his aforementioned teammates in Otavio and Vitinha, he has yet to feature for Portugal's national side. This has largely to do with the fact that the current generation is blessed with a whole host of attacking midfielders, such as Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, Pedro Goncalves, who's been killing it at Sporting Lisbon, and even Joao Felix, although he's probably considered to be more of a forward. That being said, Vieira's obviously killed it for their under-21s, and just to showcase you how mad it's been for him, he has 13 goals in a mere 21 appearances. That's better than most centre-forwards in the game. With a move to a club the size and stature of Arsenal, he could very well sneak his way into Fernando Santos' squad for the World Cup should he start the season on fire. If not, then certainly over the next year or two. One great thing from Arsenal's perspective is that Portuguese players generally hit the ground running when arriving to England. We saw that with Bruno Fernandes single-handedly transforming a broken Man United side despite only being signed mid-season during the January transfer window, as well as Ruben Dias, who almost instantly helped shore up a Manchester City defence which at times looked in 6s and 7s prior to his arrival. Although it will undoubtedly be a step up for Vieira in terms of quality, there's little to worry about when it comes to intensity because he'll be accustomed to that from the Portuguese league. Now, I've seen a couple of Arsenal supporters wondering whether or not this has any impact on the Tielemans deal. It's a resounding no as far as I'm concerned, as this fella is a completely different type of player and will probably be competing with Odegaard and Emil Smith-Rowe for a starting berth. Some might wonder why a player in that position is being brought in when there are other pressing areas in requirement of improvement, but depth is the name of the game following the decision to make the 5 substitutions rule permanent, so I'm sure all 3 players will get plenty of game time in what is a grueling and relentless schedule this season. Overall, the price is a little bit on the higher side as he's not one of those players who looks a sure-shot shoo-in to become a world beater, but nevertheless he's very talented and could surprise everyone if he continues from where he left off last season. With the added caveat of having to play 2 games in a week due to the return of European football at the Emirates Stadium, I expect this fella to be the first of at least 3 or 4 more incomings. Top 4 looks out of reach at this stage. You never know in football, obviously, but with Guardiola, Klopp, Conte and Tuchel around, and the fact that they're all looking to improve their squads, winning the Europa League might be the most realistic shot at getting Champions League football for 2023. The jury's still very much out on Mikel Arteta, and the next 6 to 12 months will make or break his time at Arsenal. Given Liverpool were heavily linked with this kid over the last 12 months in an attempt to add some flair to their workman-like midfield, and how successful their scouting network has been in recent years, Arsenal supporters have every right to be excited. Cheers for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I'm not someone who's watched the Portuguese league in and out, but when it comes to the big sides, I've seen about 15 or 20 games for each of them. And needless to say, I've seen pretty much all of Arsenal's. Please do share your thoughts, and if you happen to be an FC Porto fan, then do let me know if I've missed out on anything there. Cheers and have a great day.